All right, good morning, everyone. We have made it to June 1st, 2024. And in this update, we're going to be talking about, is Dogecoin set to surpass XRP in market cap? Now, that one would hurt, especially after the comments that we just got from Brad Garlinghouse talking about Doge, calling out Doge, saying that he didn't think it was actually good for the industry. So I'm going to play that clip from Consensus. We're going to talk about it and break it down. I was going back and trying to find when Dogecoin had surpassed XRP in the past, because you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this has actually already happened. I feel like it was like a year or two ago. You guys can remind me, but I think that this has actually already happened once or twice where Dogecoin's market cap has surpassed XRP. But I want to show you guys, and when I did the Google search trying to figure this out, all of these articles have been put out in the last week from CoinMarketCap, all these different, cryptocurrency websites talking about will Dogecoin flip XRP in June, right? It's this big hype right now. So I thought that we'd talk about it, and I'm going to show you where we're at right now on this chart. This is what's so interesting to me is when you look at this total cryptocurrency market cap and you look at this bull trap rally that occurred in 18 to 19, from the lows of 2018 bear market to 2019, the overall cryptocurrency space grew threefold, 3x, 328%. But then it consolidated through 2019 and we got that 2020 March crash before we continued that next bull run. So what I find interesting about this moment in time is, tell me that this fractal right here doesn't match up with what we've done right here. Right. And what's interesting, too, is you can also see the comparison to the move that we made right here before we pulled back up and launched further to complete this run. Kind of has a similarity there. But I find this one interesting. The depths of the bear market here were November 2022 and into December, where the lows of 743 billion for the overall cryptocurrency space. Now, instead of chopping sideways through 2023, like we did in 2019 before we crashed in March of 2020, we've actually gained, right? We actually exploded up to new all-time highs before the halving, which was unprecedented. Bringing this overall cryptocurrency space up to basically 2.7 trillion, okay? Well off the top of 3 trillion, but still getting pretty dang close, and Bitcoin surpassing the previous all-time high, right? But this consolidation back down here at basically 2.5 trillion, it's going to be interesting to watch. Even if we do get some sort of correction or pullback, I do believe that it's going to be temporary before we begin this next wave back up. It's going to be interesting to watch the rest of this year. Obviously, a lot of election chaos. The markets, in anticipation of the Fed cutting rates, have been rallying, and I think that we've overstretched ourselves. And so even just the regular correction would be well within the cards. And actually, we're kind of already seeing that right now in the cryptocurrency space, with Bitcoin back down to 67,000, XRP just hanging out at 52 cents. We are in a consolidation pattern right now. Getting ready, though, I am telling you guys, this bull run's far from over. And what's coming in, doesn't matter who gets elected, they're going to be turning it back on. And I expect the next wave of inflation to come back. We may even surpass the inflation that we hit in 2022 when we peaked at 9.1% CPI, headline inflation. I think that we could well surpass that, right? Just like we did in the 70s, where you had that first wave of inflation cooled off, but then we got actually a second wave back up. We could definitely see something like that, I think, in the next year, and that's what's going to drive this space so much higher. Now, in regards to Consensus, what's taking place, we got Phil Kwok from EZA celebrating 134,000 developers building on the XRP ledger, meeting up here with Brad Garlinghouse. And this is what we've been waiting for, folks. Most people don't even know that XRP has NFTs, has an AMM that you can actually build and work with it. And so a huge shout out to EZA app and what they're doing to onboard builders and developers and give them a little bit of exposure to the XRP ledger, along with all of the other crypto platforms that they're helping to grow. But what's been interesting to see is the success that they've had with the XRP ledger, 134,000 developers. Now, when we move on over to CoinMarketCap, you will see, look at this. Beercoin is the most visited. Nisa Global, Minu, right? All these, Rect Capital. These are the top community accounts, right? All these, silly stuff. Not Coin, Super Trump Coin, Dog Go to the Moon. How about that one? And so it's just Mickey Mouse meme coin season so far. This bull run, we've had another meme season, which is great. You know, make the money, have some fun, and it does bring adoption to the space. So I do support it in that sense. But we're going to scroll down here and you're going to see that XRP is just above Dogecoin right now, with XRP's market cap just below 29 billion and Dogecoin right above 23 billion. So we are within range. Like I said, this has happened before briefly, didn't last long. But what I found so interesting is that in this next clip I'm going to show you here, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse says that he gets a ton of crap when I say these things, but I'm going to say it anyway. I don't think Dogecoin has been a good thing for the industry. It's about solving real problems. Now, before I play this clip, and thankfully, Bank XRP did bleep out Brad Garlinghouse's swear word on stage there, so don't have to worry about that one. But my question I have is, do you think that Brad Garlinghouse would be willing to call out Doge, willing to call out Doge if XRP wasn't going to far surpass what Doge has accomplished by becoming a household meme with a $23 billion market cap? I don't know what the top market cap has been for Doge, but nonetheless, it's been a successful meme. Its staying power has impressed most and, you know, far outpaced our expectations. That's been great, and it does bring a lot of people into the space, which I do believe is good for the space. I understand what Brad Garlinghouse is saying, though, because when he's sitting across the table from a large institution, this, you know, trying to have a serious business conversation, and for many folks, the only exposure that they've had in the cryptocurrency space is getting brainwashed by the Bitcoin bros, and then they look around and they see, well, what else is happening over here? And then they see Dogecoin and Mickey Mouse coin, and Dogecoin to the moon, and Super Trump coin. Right? So, you know, you're trying to have a serious business conversation, and the only exposure that they've had to the space is the Bitcoin bro hopium and Dogecoin millionaire. And clearly that has not stopped Ripple and Brad's success in actually, you know, showing these institutions how to use a digital asset that does solve real problems. But I'm going to play this clip, and I want you to think about this. Would Brad Garlinghouse be willing to call out Doge in the way that he is, saying it's not good for the industry, if they didn't have a plan to far out, you know, exceed what Doge has accomplished? Would he be willing to call out Tether once again? He called out Tether multiple times here in the last month, again at Consensus, talking about how they're going to lose market share. Would he be willing to do that? Would he be willing to say that on stage up there if they didn't have a serious plan for Ripple's US dollar stablecoin? Let's listen in on what Brad had to say here.
It's shocking to me that the United States, the largest economy in the world, represents, you know, the bottom decile of regulatory clarity. I think when you get the real unlock of the United States economy and you get the real institutional money flowing in, I think it's just hard to predict some of the upside opportunity. But the biggest thing I'll highlight, and like, where does this go? We have to be about more than speculation. You know, I get a ton of when I say these things, but I'm going to say it anyway. I don't think Dogecoin has been a good thing for the industry. And I'm not anti-Dogecoin. But it's like, I don't know what the use case is. I don't know, like, are there projects being built to solve real utility? And I see lots of real utility across lots of different, you know, chains. And I think that is what is critical. And what's for me, the 10-year prediction has to be about, it's not about speculation. It's about solving real problems.
You know, and I think it's very important to note, too, that he says that he's not against Dogecoin, right? It's just a matter of what's actually being solved here. Are we just bringing in more people recklessly gambling their money, or are we actually solving a real problem? And there's many people in the space that just don't care. They don't care if somebody's going to get wrecked buying their meme coin from them because they're going to make the money. They sold their coin to the greater fool. They're going to take their money and run. And I get it. This is a dog-eat-dog world. I get it. But if you want the trillions to flow in from the institutions, and in fact, hundreds of trillions, quadrillions, God forbid we say that word, right? Quadrillions to actually come into the space and settle within this space over the next decades to come, we have to have the serious conversation too. And at Consensus, you got guys up on stage wearing motorcycle helmets, wearing masks, wearing deals, wearing, you know, you got Vitalik Buterin dancing around. I guess he didn't show up at Consensus, but you know what I'm saying, right? when these institutions are looking at the space, when I'm looking at this space, I'm like, what the heck is going on? 99% of the space is a joke. And it's an absolute bold-faced lie. Many of the projects that are touting that they are solving some sort of problem or utility or got a little deal or I got a dream. Yeah, we all got a dream, don't we? Now, it's going to be interesting, though, because if Dogecoin does surpass XRP, you already know where the sentiment's going to go. And so right now, it's time to get focused and locked in. Understand that any temporary price action right now that we're seeing is not a reflection of long-term fundamental value. And this is where many people will be disconnected from their funds, is because they're going to be chasing it. They're going to wait for Dogecoin to flip XRP, and then they're going to sell their XRP and go buy Doge, only for Doge to then sell back off and XRP finally appreciate like we've been expecting, right? When you look, there's too much of a fundamental case for XRP's price to rise over the next year or so, and finishing off this bull run. And I'm just talking short term. I'm not even talking about the long term expectations. Just a short term move. There's so many catalysts. There's so many drivers, and you look at a lot of these other projects. What are the main drivers for them? Can you convince more doofus morons and greater fools to buy the coin? Period. Full stop. That's the only thing that's going to move it. Versus in XRP world, in our XRP thesis, you have the case coming to a conclusion. You have regulations going live. U.S. institutions that have been partnered up with Ripple waiting to use XRP for a competitive advantage, ready to go live. You have Ripple stablecoin bringing more liquidity into the ecosystem. You have Ripple setting the standard for institutional DeFi. You have all of our utilities being added at the protocol level, NFTs, AMM, cross-chain bridge, interoperability from EVM, native on-chain lending, multi-purpose tokens coming on the way. There's a lot of utility coming on the way for the XRP ledger, and it's all happening in a completely decentralized way, and they're all going to be bullish drivers for the fundamental XRP thesis that we've been holding to. So if you want to pick up a Doge, that's great. Pick up a Doge. Pick up a Doge. Have a good time, And I've been saying too, bring the memes to the XRP ledger. It's a great place for them, actually, because you can actually settle and trade them in 3 to 5 seconds at no cost versus on Ethereum or any other network that has a problem. And I've been getting feedback too from folks that are playing around in Solana, are playing around in these other ecosystems, and they say that by and far our Zamin wallet, right? Zum, formerly Zum, now Zamin, the biggest wallet that we have in our ecosystem for accessing our DEX. The feedback that I'm getting is that all these other ecosystems, a lot of the stuff's just clunky, it's not smooth, it's not simple, it's not easy to use, and it just has downtime, just doesn't work. Look at Solana, right? And so what I'm excited for is as our utilities get brought online, we got 134,000 developers coming from EZA app and others already in our ecosystem that are building. We're handing them new tools, right? With each amendment, with each utility that's being added, we're handing them new tools, and all of the real products and services that are about to be built out through these businesses. Choosing the XRP ledger is going to be pretty spectacular, and it will lead to a higher XRP price. I firmly believe that. So with that being said, you guys let me know in the comments down below, is Dogecoin going to flip XRP again? Can you resist the temptation to pick up the Doge, or are you going to go pick up a Doge? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you guys like this video on the way out. I greatly appreciate it. And everything can be found on my website, ZachRector.com. I got to run, heading over to the Discord weekly call every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. If you're looking to hang out with me and our community, head on over to ZachRector.com and you sign up through Patreon to get access to Discord. We would love to have you in there. God bless you all. Have a great weekend. Thank you. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.